Who Dat Nation, your boy is here. Thank you very, very much for joining me, Who Dat Davis, the host of the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast for today's, or should I say tonight's, Keys to Victory / pre-game show. If you guys don't know, you will know that over here we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. Once again, thank you guys so much. I see everybody already starting to file in into the comment section. I see the OG, Jerry Poor. I see the OG, Robert Clark. Saints on One, Gab. Over on Twitter, Alvin Kamara is in the building, folks. We got Alvin Kamara, AK himself, in the building. What is going on? We got Robert Clark. We've got JT. What is going on, JT? We got Fidelis Veritas over on Facebook, our first Facebook viewer. Welcome to the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. It is an extremely blessed position I am in right now. I apologize for not going live last week against talking about the New York Jets. It is simply because the home situation, it's been up and down. My grandmother had to get a medication fixed up because she woke up yesterday, had a hard time breathing, so my mom got called over. It was a scary situation, and it's been like that for the past week and an odd number of days. So it's been a very, very stressful situation, but she is doing okay right now for the moment. She's got the rest of her medication. On top of that, she does have some type of formula that she's drinking twice a day, supposed to help alleviate some of that acid. So acid and medication supposed to help with her high blood pressure and the reflux and the infection in her lungs. So we're going to see some manner of incline of her health over the next couple of days, hopefully. Well, just keep us in your thoughts and in your prayers as always. And very much appreciated, especially her, because she loves you guys. She loves coming in here, ringing the bell whenever we go live. You know how it is with her and the bell. But it's been a very, very trying time. But we're getting through it like always. We're getting through it like always. And that's why you didn't see me go live last week, even though I promised to. I apologize for that. Home things take precedence. But with all of that explanation out of the way, let's officially get down with the breakdown. We are going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints, who are going to be playing in white jersey, gold pants on Sunday night. We'll be traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in prime time football, Sunday night football. But it looks like COVID-19 is not yet done with the Saints because COVID-19 has taken away our head coach, our beloved Sean Payton. That's right, folks. Sean Payton has tested positive for COVID-19, and thus he is out a minimum 10 days if he doesn't clear protocols sooner. Ooh, man. They are in for it, guys. They are in for it. So, Dennis Allen will be stepping in as interim head coach, but he will still be primarily handling his defensive play calling duties, and Pete Carmichael will be taking over offensive play calling. The only major difference, according to Nick Underhill, is where Dennis Allen will be taking charge and deciding whether to go for it on fourth down, 2-point conversions, major calls like that affect the outcome of a game, the team as a whole. Other than that, you will see Pete Carmichael stepping up and putting Sean Payton and calling the shots on the offense, which is getting healthier, is what I would say if Teron Armstead was not once again ruled out for this Sunday night's game. Alongside with right tackle Ryan Ramczyk, who looks like has been dealing with a year-long nagging injury he just can't escape from. Teron Armstead is now back, ruled as out. So Saints will once again be without both starting right tackles for this Sunday night's game. But the Bucs are going into this game a little injured in their secondary because cornerback, defensive back Jamel Dean is listed as out for the Tampa Bay Bucs, and Richard Sherman is listed as doubtful, most likely going to be out as well for the Tampa Bay Bucs. So, who does that leave? That leaves Sean Murphy-Bunting, and that leaves Carlton Davis as the starting corners for the Tampa Bay Bucs, and including one in their safety. Yeah, Jordan Whitehead listed as a limited participant today. He was listed as questionable. Things were trending upwards for the starting safety, Jordan Whitehead, but no surefire answer on whether or not he will play in this Sunday's game. What about any other injuries for the New Orleans Saints? Well, let's talk about it. Let me just pull out this injury report posted by Nick Underhill a couple hours ago. Let's see who else is listed on this injury report for either team. Let's and talk about Garrett Griffin. Saints, I believe, 4th-string tight end Garrett Griffin is listed as out. He will not be here. Now, what does that mean for the Saints tight end locker room? Well, Adam Troutman, starting tight end Adam Troutman, has been seen back at practice this week. He has not been designated to return off IR yet, which means he may need one more week. I would say we won't see him for at least another week. But him being back at practice already, when he had the MCL sprain against the Philadelphia Eagles, is a good sign for the Saints moving forward if they can survive Sunday's game and come away with a win, because it will dramatically increase their football playoff chances. Now, what about any other guys to start off with the Saints? We got questionables. We got 2 questionables for the Saints. We've got Caden Ellis and we've got Little Jordan Humphrey, who practice on a limited basis on both Thursday and Friday. Little Jordan Humphrey, the guy who can create separation and create yards after the catch. He's listed as limited, which means there's a good chance it is going to come down to a game time decision. And if he can go for the Saints, then that can lead some possible, favorable matchups. He's a big guy. He has strong hands. He can create, like I said, he can create yards after the catch, yards after contact. That's something that's very sorely needed, because we are going to be getting into the keys to victory very soon, where we're talking about what the Saints need to do to come away with the W. But let's go ahead and continue reading on the injury report for both teams. Now we're going to get into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've already said that Jamel Dean was out, but there are some other names here as well, such as Ergo today. This Sunday's game. Well, that was the weirdest thing ever. I apologize for that. I don't know why that happened, but it happened anyway. If anybody can still hear me, please let me know. I did not mean for that to happen. I didn't click on anything. I still have. Oh, Lord. Okay. You can't hear or see me. You can't? Okay. So I apologize for that. I don't know what it was, but your boy's back. But let's go ahead and continue on here, talking about playoff Lanny. Running back Leonard Fournette listed as questionable with an ankle injury. Now, playoff Lenny, like I said, he's been leaned on a lot for Tom Brady in his Tampa Bay offense, with names other than Chris Godwin and Rob Gronkowski. Mike Evans is taking something of a back burner compared to these other guys, except for the fact that he's a great red zone target. I'll give Mike Evans his credit. He now holds the franchise record for touchdown receptions in Bucs history. Shout out to Mike Evans, one of the most consistent receivers to ever do it for Tampa and in the NFL in general. But Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, Rob Gronkowski have been leading the way for the most part in bulk for the Tampa Bay Bucs as a whole, especially Chris Godwin, who has broken over 1,000 receiving yards on the year. Congratulations to Chris Godwin. I'm most likely going to be expecting him to be re-signed back to the Tampa Bay Bucs after this offseason. I highly doubt they're going to let that guy go, especially considering what's going on with Antonio Brown, who is going to be missing Sunday's game against the Saints, not just for an injury to his ankle or his knee, but also for some off-field issues. If you guys haven't caught up yet, go check out my latest article on leagueofjustice.com. Leonard Fournette has faked his vaccination status. So he was going to miss this game either way. And that's huge because I have always said that Antonio Brown has been an X factor for Tampa last season, going to making a playoff run and a Super Bowl run. It's because of Antonio Brown being one of the best receivers in the league, if not in NFL history, with what he's able to do as a wideout, creating opportunities for Chris Godwin down in the slot. Without Antonio Brown, the Bucs have somewhat struggled to keep offensive pace, especially when they're on the road. But the Bucs are going to be at home. So what does that mean? It means they are perfect at home. They score a lot. So you would expect Tampa Bay to be in the driver's seat as an 11-point favorite, right? Right? Haha, wrong. Because according to these stats I got right here on my trusted little phone notepad, Tom Brady versus the New Orleans Saints. Since joining Tampa Bay in 2020, look at these stats. He's 1-3, the one with being a win in a divisional round, as we all know. He is 1-3 with 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Sorry, I hit my desk. 7 interceptions with 67.5 passer grade. For some reason, the Saints defense just knows how to handle Tom Brady better than any other defense in the league. And that really is a tremendous credit to Dennis Allen getting those boys ready. And with the performance they put on against the New York Jets, you got to be coming in with a chip on their shoulder and wanting to continue riding that high. Now, I know it is against the New York Jets. It's supposed to be giving, but how many times this season have we seen the Saints lose to teams they should win against? The Atlanta Falcons, the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants, the Tennessee Titans. We've seen these guys play down the competition, and they end up sneaking it up. Now, obviously, the offense has a lot to do with that, but the secondary has been struggling in those parts, especially with those deep over routes, those crossing routes over the middle of the field. They get caught in the trail technique. That didn't happen against the New York Jets. They took advantage of the obvious matchups where they were more favorable to win. They did not play down to the competition. They played up and then some. Paulson Debo had arguably his best game so far this season as a New Orleans Saint. He's been pretty. I would say he's pretty good. He hasn't been great, but he's definitely not hurting your team all that much. Minus against the Atlanta Falcons, where he gave up that long touchdown reception to Cordero Patterson. But Cordero Patterson's been doing that on a consistent basis all season long, which I am more inclined to believe that Patterson will be remaining as an Atlanta Falcon beyond this year, because they would be foolish to let that man walk out of their building after everything that he's done for them so far, and even having them as far as a playoff hunt. They would not be in this position where they are right now if not for Cordero Patterson. So I expect them to give 84 a big extension. So shout out to Cordero Patterson for that. But back to the Saints. This is make or break time for the Saints. I know I said that last week in my article. You read it. I said it was make or break, sink or swim. But this is definitely crunch time now. If you want to have a good chance at making the playoffs, you have to find a way to get this win and prepare for the week after, which I believe is against the Miami Dolphins. Because you got other teams like the San Francisco 49ers who came up with an upset win over the Cincinnati Bengals. They're now 7-6. That 5th seed is most likely locked up at this point. I doubt the 49ers are going to drop any other games. Now that remains the 7th seed. Who's in the race for the 7th seed? Well, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. You got the Minnesota Vikings. The Washington football team, who's starting to find their rhythm on defense. You've got the Atlanta Falcons, who you messed around and let back into the playoff hunt. All those teams with Seattle nipping at their heels. You have to win this game. In order for the Saints to be comfortably favored as the seventh seed, they would have to win out the rest of their games. They can't afford to drop any games to anybody, especially against division rivals that are coming up. The Bucs, the Panthers, the Falcons. Those guys you have to go 1-1 with. Well, the Bucs you have to sweep just to have a chance, but you have to split 1-1 with the Panthers and the Falcons. And the Panthers are slipping. The Panthers have slipped since bringing in Matt Rule. The second half of the season has been god awful. Not just for Sam Darnold, but also for PJ Walker, especially Cam Newton. They can't find a rhythm on offense. And they let go of Joe Brady. They looked even worse. You have to take advantage of the matchup. You have to win against all three divisional opponents. All three going forward. You can't afford to not to. You cannot afford not to. And then you've got the Miami Dolphins. That's your last AFC opponent, I believe. You have to win against them. Now they're safe. Their secondary is pretty good, but you have a more dynamic offense on the Taysom Hill right now that I believe it can give the Miami Dolphins a run for their money. Not just unique run style plays, but a level of physicality that the Miami Dolphins are not really good at handling. So I do believe the Saints need to win now, and it starts tonight against the Tampa Bay Bucs. I don't care how ugly of a win it is, right? I don't care how ugly of a win it is. It could be by 1 point, 2 points. I don't care if it's a low-scoring game. You just got to come away with the win, because once you get into the playoffs, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens at that point. It doesn't matter what your record was going into the playoffs. You just have to be there. Lest we forget, the 9-7 New York Giants went on to win a Super Bowl. It's all about getting hot at the right time. If the Saints can find a way to beat Tampa on Sunday night, then they're obviously trending in the right direction. They're most likely going to get Deontay Harris back for Miami Dolphins. I believe this is his last game, if not the game after the Dolphins. So you're getting Deontay Harris back really soon. Adam Trautman is beating projected timetables for a return due to his injury. Okay, you've got your linebackers coming back. You got Pete Warner back at practice. You got Tana Pascal, I believe, is close to being back. Just no news on him yet, but you're very close, right? You have to win. You have to win. Now, the ultimate question: what kind of keys to victory do the Saints need in order to beat Tampa in their home building, giving them their first loss at home for the season? Well, it has to start with taking advantage of the run game. Tampa has been slipping in terms of the run game. They are still a top 5 run defense. They're ranked number 3, but the Saints are better, ranked number 1. And that's because Tampa is more focused on the passing game, on a passing attack, than it is on the ground game. Right? So you have to take advantage of the fact that Taysom Hill can give you a level of physicality in the run game and mix in some intermediate stuff in the passing game. You have the capability to mix things up. You have to be able to mix it up. That's key to victory number 1. A balanced attack, lean heavy on the run game if possible. If you can create those opportunities with your legs, use your legs to create opportunity with your arms. Use your legs to create opportunities for your arm. That's key victory number 1. Number 2, you have to limit Chris Godwin. It's one thing if Mike Evans beats you, but you can't let Chris Godwin beat you. Chris Godwin was a main reason why the Bucs had a chance to win, in a final drive, if not for a pick six for PJ Williams. Chris Godwin went off for a game high 140 receiving yards. I believe that was his best in his career, might I add, before he went on to have 15 career high receptions later on in the season. But Chris Godwin is the guy you can't let beat you. And I'm looking at C.J. Gardner-Johnson because he was the one he bullied the most from the slot. He's going to get his matchups against C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the slot, and you had to be able to prepare for that. Tyler Johnson getting a couple catches here and there, fine. Rob Gronkowski, fine. Not worried about that. Malcolm Jenkins can handle Rob Gronkowski, but Chris Godwin, you can't let beat you. You can't. You have to be able to contain him. You have to contain Chris Godwin. I don't know how they do it. I don't care how they do it. But if you let him go off for another 120 plus receiving yard performance, you're in trouble. Because this offense, as much as I'm optimistic about their dynamic in terms of running pass, it's not as potent as the Bucs offense to go toe to toe. And speaking of that, key to victory number 3. Key to victory number 3. Time of possession. Time of possession is the New Orleans Saints have to dominate the time of possession and keep the clock moving. Not just win the time of possession, they have to dominate it, because you cannot, under any circumstance, let Tom Brady and that Bucs offense get hot. Control the clock, score points in the red zone. When you're down there, you want touchdowns, but you have to take field goals in those obvious fourth down situations. If it's 4th and 1, I would go for it. Right? I would go for it in those fourth short situations. But other than that, if you're in the red zone, you are going to kick field goals. You have to kick field goals. We just seen what happened with the Los Angeles Chargers against the Kansas City Chiefs in last night's game, where Brandon Staley went 2 for 5 on 4th downs deep in Kansas City territory, inside the 20, inside the 15 sometimes. And he missed the opportunity to kick field goals. He left 9 points on the field because he refused to kick field goals. He was too aggressive. He left points. That game should not even have been close for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City team. It might have left 12, anywhere from 9 to 12 points. That game was squarely for the Chargers to lose. Some folks will say it's Jared Cook, dropping an obvious an open touchdown pass out in the flat, but he's just one piece of the puzzle, one piece of a overall grand issue, and that was Brandon Staley. You have to kick field goals in those obvious situations. You have to come away with points somehow. You have to keep building your lead. Hold on, guys. That was my grandmother, the one with the bell. She just came in here and told me that Sean Payton got the virus. I was like, yes, I know, I got it. But the people say hi.
Hey.
And they wish you well and getting better.
Okay. Thank you.
Gotta love grandma, right? Gotta love grandmamas. But yeah, you have to score points in the red zone. If you kick field goals, fine. You gotta kick them. Like it's a given. Don't be like Brandon Staley. Please kick field goals and keep extending your lead. Sometimes, yeah, be aggressive for it, but you got to be smart on when you do so. You got to be smart about it. Everything for the Saints' playoff chances hinges on Sunday night's game. They did well against the Jets and increasing their percentage chance of getting into the playoffs. But if they can get back to 500, if they can get back to an even 500 against Tampa, imagine what their confidence is going to be going forward. Knowing they're going to get guys back, knowing they just beat the defending Super Bowl champions 2 games in a row. They got to do it. And my last key to victory is the turnover battle. The Saints came away with 2 turnovers against Tampa in their last game on Halloween night. Tom Brady went for 4 I believe it was 4 touchdowns. I believe it was 4, and then 2 interceptions. Last one being PJ Williams' pick 6. You got to come away with it. You got to come away with those INTs. You got to come away with fumbles, and it starts with winning your matchups. Paulson Adebo's going to play his best game. CD Deuce is going to have a rebound game against Tampa. Marshawn Lattimore has to stay dialed in against Mike Evans. You got to come away with turnovers. Somehow, some way, you have to force them. You got to get Tom Brady off the field as quickly as possible. Right? So, I still have the Bucs winning this game, believe you me. I have the Bucs winning this game because I'm still a little iffy about the offense, even before Sean Payton was ruled out because of COVID-19. But now he's out. I believe that's going to hurt pretty significantly. Not to mention Teron Armstead is out, Ryan Ramchik's out. A makeshift offensive line against that violent Bucs D-line is going to be something to be cringing over. But it's any given Sunday. I know the Saints are probably going to surprise me. We'll just have to see what happens. But I have the Bucs winning by... I have them winning, but they're not going to cover the spread. The spread is an 11-point favorite. They're not covering that spread. I think the Bucs are going to win by 4. But if everything else falls into place, meaning a couple other teams, they drop in the ranking, they drop a couple of games, and the Saints win out the rest of the way, then they still have a chance, but it's going to be very, very slim. So, with all that being said, I apologize. This is going to be a little short, but not only is Grandma feeling a little under the weather, but your boy not feeling that great either. I just wanted to get this information out there. I wanted to see you guys. I wanted to see you interact in the comment section. I wanted to see you guys I wanted to be appreciative of everything you guys have done for me in terms of support. The Facebook page is blowing up, guys. We are currently on pace to break 600 likes and follows on the Facebook page. It's absolutely nuts, especially after I started doing those videos, those funny moment videos where everyone can have a laugh. Ever since I started doing those, traffic has been insane. You guys are just killing the like button. You're killing the follow button on the Facebook page, and I could not be more blessed. I'm extremely, extremely blessed. Thank y'all so much for the support you give me. And as always, I'm going to be very appreciative and give you guys the best content possible. So with all that being said, Elite Goods, it's all right. I'm so glad you're here. Regardless, I don't care how late it is. I don't care how early you are. The fact that you're here, it means everything to me. So I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to go do my business, and then I'm going to prepare to watch Hoodie Jew on his YouTube channel. Hoodie Jew is going to be going live a little later. So make sure you check out Hoodie Juby. He's an awesome guy. He's a very giving guy. He's got merch coming out. Go buy his merch, and when it comes out, when it drops, I might have to buy me a little Hoodie Juby shirt, Hoodie Juby beanie myself. But we'll see about that. But go check out Hoodie Jew. He's going to be going live very soon on his channel. Search up Hoodie Jew. Hoodie Jew in the YouTube search bar. Go subscribe to his channel. And just go have fun. Please have fun and support my boy. With all that being said, it is now time for me to sign off. Once again, thank you guys. I have listed all social media handles in the description below. And if you guys don't know, you will know right now. But over here, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. I will see at least some of you guys over on Hoodie Juice.